Welcome back to 4 Geeks by Geeks, the place where geeks come to geek out. As always, I'm Bozer. How's everybody doing? How was your weekend? How's your Monday? You don't see me sweating because literally I wanted to say that I would be so proud if I can make it through a single stream without any technical difficulties. I barely made it through the intro, through the starting soon screen without my camera saying, you know what, I'm tired. That's going to be on my list of things to fix in 2026. Until then, I'll probably just keep kicking it down the road. But I hope all of you are feeling awesome today and geeking out loud on your Monday night here for a Geek Out Sesh. If this is your first time, welcome. Whether you're live here in the chat on a Monday night at 8:30 Eastern Standard on Twitch and YouTube, or you're watching it back on YouTube or listening back on podcasts. We do this each and every Monday night. And oh, look, it's going to be one of those nights. It's going to be one of those nights. Whether you're watching back or listening, I'm going to keep talking. It's a podcast now. Come by and join the chat and geek out with all of our geek guests. Don't worry. Look, at least I figured out the quick Band-Aid solution. Pro tip, never update your computer. Just don't do it. Get a new computer instead. But did I introduce myself? Hi, I'm Bozer. Nice to meet you. My co-host T wishes he could be here tonight, but if you were part of the Discord or you saw a post on our Instagram recently, he just had a new baby. That's right. This Dad of the Year just became Daddy-yer of the Year-er. We're really excited for him, but that just means that baby's controlling their house, and it might be hit or miss whether he can join us on a stream whenever he can. So he's not being lazy. He's working harder than I am all the time, and he wishes he could be here. He misses you, and send him all the love. Thank you for all the congratulations on his behalf, for everybody that dropped some in the comments or sent a message after he shared their new baby, Miss Squabic. So cute. She is adorable. But we are geeking out here tonight. It's going to be a slightly shorter stream, so I'm going to get right to it because we are welcoming back I have lost count. It might be 2-time guest or maybe a 3-time previous guest, but this man won't stop. He keeps building more and more and upping his game every time, and he has surpassed any previous limits that he's had on himself, and really excited to share about a new endeavor that you're going to get a sneak peek of. And if you are in the Illinois area, you might get even a full glimpse. So please, you guys, drop some emojis in the chat. Let me hear ya. Welcome in the geek guest tonight, my friend, the TrisRex.
What's going on, everybody?
Hey,
What's cracking? Somebody wanted to crash the show, so we're just gonna let him crash the show.
well, I'm sorry, I didn't get a waiver for your second guest. I'm gonna have to have him sign an affidavit.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get an NDA for this, man. He just wanted to crash the show all of a sudden, so yeah.
Now he's acting camera shy. Isn't that how they always go?
Yeah, he'll be sleeping in a minute.
What's his name?
This is Krim. This is my nail and tail and spike specialist. So when you see all of those big nails and different dorsal tubes and stuff, he's the one that approves it.
Okay.
Big boy right here.
Lifelike. For anybody listening on the podcast, he is holding a fucking lizard. It's a dragon dinosaur he's got in his hands.
It's my little baby.
Just a little guy. Just a little guy.
It's my little baby. You know, the big boys outside. The big boys outside. They don't call me Rex for nothing, you know.
Oh, I think last time you were here, you might have been streaming from your workshop. And so we got a kind of a glimpse of your monsters that you like to create in the background. But this time, they're going to have to go somewhere else to find those monsters. And we're going to talk about it. But first, how are you, Tris? Thanks for being here.
I'm good. A lot of balls in the air.
Always
juggling right now. Stress, good stress, but I'm good. I'm fortunate. This has been a long time coming. This project has taken me a while, but it's so fun to see it come to life. But I'm also kind of like, oh man, it's gonna be over. Not over, but it's kind of
Dude,
like a new beginning to something else.
for you, it's never over.
Oh no, oh no, it'll never be
The
over.
camera, it might be over if it doesn't stop freezing on me, but at least it froze in a pleasant position. Just ignore that if that happens. Shuffling
Yeah,
and
it's all good.
throwing cords around in the background. So just ignore that EOS webcam utility failure. This is the best sponsorship, by the way.
But yeah, as long as we can hear you, it's all good. It is all good.
That's because we have a better microphone than I do a camera setup. But for
Uh-oh.
anybody that doesn't know who you are or what you do, first of all, why the hell not? Second of all, tell us a little bit about what you do as a geek.
Yeah, so as a geek, well, hello, happy Monday evening to everybody out there watching. I am TrisRex Johnson. You can just call me TrisRex. I'm a monster maker, born and raised in Chicago, South Side. And I've always been enamored by video games, comic books, but mostly horror and sci-fi films as a younger kid. And as I've gotten older, I've started to lean on those more and more as a therapeutic outlet. So when I went to college, I did some minoring in theater, did a lot of set design and things of that nature. But I noticed that I really, really, really like just making stuff. And as I got older, wanted to take up some hobbies that would get me back into that creative space to let me be who I am. And I stumbled upon cosplay, and it was one of those things that went hand in hand with the things that I was doing for theater, but it also reminded me of how much I just love movies and horror films, and as well as sci-fi.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm here as a monster maker. This is about my third time on the channel, and
It's either third or fourth, to be honest.
Third, yeah, it's been a while. Yeah. At the least. So now I'm not only introducing myself as the monster maker and practical effects artist, but now I'm also introducing myself as a filmmaker. So this is a monumental string. This is a first.
Dude, I'm so excited for you, and I feel like you've been cooking this up, whether it's been in the back burner or just in the back of your mind for years. Like you've been dropping some things when we talked about your monsters in the past of like special effects and wishing that you could do more with it. And I don't know if you've had this kind of goal in mind from jump, or it's just fallen out of your mouth crumb by crumb.
A little bit of both. A little bit of both, because when I was creating my monsters, especially for like the DC run, when I was explaining them and trying to tell the stories, I always related it back to some of the horror films and sci-fi films that inspired it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those things where it's like, if I'm really gonna be able to show you what I could really do and tell you the story about these creatures in the way that I'd like to, I might as well just make a film. Whether it be a short or feature film. This one actually ended up being a longer short. So here we are. It's a long time coming, but I'm glad that you pointed that out, because I was always inching and alluding to it.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Took me a while to finally come out and say it, but yeah.
It was like that monster that was always chasing you in the back of your mind, just like that. Mm-hmm. Those nightmares. I think one time on a stream you talked about like your creations come from a place that, like, when you lay down at night, it's that thing that scares you and it chases you until you can bring it to fruition. And I don't think it's any different about this film.
Oh yeah, it's a beast. It's a beast. I know I could say this with all confidence. This might be the hardest thing I've ever done in my entire existence. Like, no competition as far as like
It's completely different.
projects or making
Uh-huh.
or all kinds of stuff or learning a skill. This is by far the hardest thing I've done, and I can say that with 100% confidence.
Well, just to catch some people up, maybe if they haven't caught you before or weren't familiar, can I just do a quick like speed run of your Instagram just so people have a semblance of an idea of the kinds of things that you make? Because y'all, when he talks about making monsters, he is not kidding. This is not hyperbole. We are not exaggerating. He brings the biggest thing to C2E2 on the whole show floor. It overshadows everything and overlooks my baby, just like your iguana.
Oh yeah, they are my babies. There she go.
And like this, okay, so this is what you brought to the show floor.
Yeah, this is the latest. This was this past April.
These giant monsters, xenomorphs, soldiers, queen, face huggers, got everything. And I know when I first met you, it had to be almost 6 years ago by now.
Oh yeah, it was some time ago. Yeah, well, it was almost like when I first started.
You were making monsters, but they were more like cosplay. You could get inside and wear them. And I saw you walking around as the Swamp Thing on the Crown Championships of cosplay, and I was just floored. And I thought that was big. And since then, you've only gotten bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Hey, look, there's a pass.
Yeah.
Like, these things are massive. And you always bring a huge posse when you come. I love it. You roll with a crew.
Yeah, my family and friends are very supportive. Very supportive of the studio and what I got going on, and they're always willing to help.
Well, you need that.
Oh yeah, I need every ounce of it because I can make and create all of this stuff on my own, but to really help bring it to life for audiences and for the conventions, I need all hands on deck. So it's one of those things that I'm always super duper grateful for. Super duper grateful for, because it takes a village. Literally takes a village.
And before anybody thinks like, oh, he went to school for this, he's like a professional, he knows all the tips and tricks, like, give us a quick breakdown of mainly what this stuff is made of.
Yeah, so what you're seeing is just EVA foam clay, garbage bags. I want to say a little bit of liquid latex, window sill wrap, wood, screws, pretty much anything you can find at Home Depot or Joann's, RIP. But and a whole lot of acrylic paint. So, and it's made with some of the same techniques that I started out with, as far as like making armors and making my smaller creatures that I could wear. But in this case, using the EVA foam as a base to create the armature for it, and then sculpting over the top of it. Or like with the Empress right there, well, actually the Royal Guard too, they actually on some wood stands. So it's a little bit of carpentry in there nowadays as well. And one of the things I can say is, for this Aliens universe project, I probably worked with just as much wood as I did foam. And I'm proud of that, because carpentry is a huge part of it, as far as getting those stands right and making sure everybody could be supported for the weight that they do have.
And it was that theater background that helped you do that, right?
Oh yeah.
Gotta shout out our theater love.
Oh yeah, the tech. A lot of the stuff that we did in tech was actually a lot of woodwork. So being able to paint different textures, get different lights to bounce off it, and making sure that it's sturdy so the actors could actually interact with it while they're acting, and everything be practical, like no blue screen, like everything is in camera, everything is there. So
right,
it's taking it to another level as far as making sure everything is good and sturdy, but also realistic for the audience as well as the actors.
I'm just so impressed by everything you do, because you go big and hard with everything, and you always have. And I love that you didn't let that like stop you or that limit you. You just kept pushing further and further that envelope, and now there is a wider audience, hopefully, that will enjoy it.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. A lot of people are really like each C2E2. You know, more and more people are starting to come out, and even outside of just the Chicago area. Um, it's been really cool to see how many people actually appreciate what I do for the horror as well as sci-fi community through, you know, doing some of the cosplays and from the DC, but also, you know, taking it to this level with the Aliens Resurgence project.
Yeah, like Farrell says, I stop by this at C2 every year. So friggin' cool.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
And I appreciate this chance to get to sit down and talk to you about it, because you guys, he is swarming off the fans at his booth. Like, all I can say is, hey, Tris, good to see you. This is so cool. We'll talk more on stream. He's like, okay, yeah, I'll get at you. And
it's for a good reason. For a good reason.
Yeah.
It's definitely a little quicker nowadays. I don't get as much shit because we had a couple people get sick, so I wasn't able to talk as much as I'd like to this past year. But it's always cool to see all of the new people come, you know, all of the interest, and one of the things that, you know, keep proving year after year is that Monster really brings people together. Like that person that came for anime, that person that came for autographs, auditions, and just like regular folks in general too. Everybody loves Monsters, man.
That's
everybody loves
geek
Monsters
culture in general, and like you said, Monsters. Like, it's especially these like 80s style movies. I love that. Like, actual like special effects are coming back to the forefront in movies. They're getting away from the CGI. Like, we're tired of it. We want some real animatronics. We want some real effects. I want to see real goo on people. And so I think this is the perfect time for you to be taking the spotlight.
Yeah. And that was one of the things that I really wanted to lean on for this Aliens Resurgence project is no CGI, everything in camera. Like, the only thing that we are doing that is digital is just muzzle flashes and maybe sparks, mainly because I'm not getting my house burnt down for you know, for like a special effect, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody's getting shot, no fires. I'm okay. No fires. And yeah, that's the only thing, but everything else is just me and the team. Hard work. These big puppets doing massive work, pulley strings, invisible strings, PVC pipes, bungee cords, wheels, all kinds of stuff. So it's a labor of love. But I had to do it that way because that's what made me. I'm an 80s, 90s sci-fi horror, Stan Winston, Rick Baker loving type of kid. You know, that's what made TrisRex. So it's like, I gotta be true to that. And one of the things that was really cool to see, right, is the past Aliens film, Alien Romulus.
Yeah.
They brought back a lot of the team from 86.
Nice.
People like Alec Gillis, Shane Mahan, a couple of the cats that worked on the Queen, as well as some of the Warriors for 86 for James Cameron's films. And they did a lot of the stuff for Romulus as well. So it was really cool to see that, like, hey, people still like practical too. You know, people like practical, but one of the things that is one of the realities, right, is that it's not that people can't do practical. Well, or let's say it's not sought after, right? It's more about it's a limited supply of studios that actually know how to do it the right way.
Right. I'm sure there's plenty of people that can't, being one of them. But it's got to be harder. Like, it's not just putting it in front of one or two people in front of some computers and making it all happen. This takes months and years of work of building and just logistics, engineering. You need a lot more heads at the table for that.
A lot more heads at the
or
table.
one TrisRex.
Yeah, but remember, TrisRex had a lot of time and a lot of coffee. You know, it was a lot of caffeine that went into this film. You know, so although I might have you know, worked out a lot of the kinks myself and built a lot, I pretty much did everything myself. It really took that team of my friends and family and actors to really bring it to life, because I could make all of the things that could give you nightmares, but when you marry them together and you got that good cast to go along with it, that makes it really, really good.
Well, since we keep teasing this film, I believe that you brought a trailer. Is it okay if we show it?
Is that okay, Crimbo? Is that okay? Is that okay? Huh?
Dinosaur says.
What did you say? What'd you say? What'd you say?
The dinosaur
I
says.
think that's a yes. He's a little
yes?
sleepy, but I think that's a yes.
We're about to get woke up by watching this trailer. You guys,
he helped edit it, so he's good.
Oh, he did. Get ready. Also, you can find this link on YouTube, so share it. I'm going to share the link in the chat. But get ready for the official trailer of TrisRex, Aliens Resurgence.
How are you feeling today, Mr. Church? Let's begin. Repeated, disturbing, and unwanted memories of the stressful experience. Heart pounding, sweating, fear, horror.
Just like old times.
Anger.
Sick!
Thank you. I appreciate that.
It scared my camera away.
Oh yeah. They're like, oh no, they gotta go.
I'm dropping.
We scared the camera away.
It did. It went to go buy tickets to the movie immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that is a legit ass trailer.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. It was so hard. One of the things that was hard was obviously just not spoiling it. Just not spoiling nothing, because there's so many cool parts and so many cool performances, and it's like, you know, at the end of the day, it's like, it's a short, so you don't want to give away too much, but it's a very super duper horror, psychological, action-packed type of movie, so I wanted to keep it nice and sweet, so short and sweet, I mean, to make sure that, you know, keep some of that mystery in there. Don't worry, the kid is just you know, being a little rambunctious.
Put that baby to sleep.
Yeah.
No, but you packed so much into that trailer, and I know that there's even so much more in the full short. Okay, now walk me back. You had this idea, you wanted to make a movie. How did it start? What were the first steps in bringing this thing to life?
Well, it all started with a dream. Because during the pandemic, I had a really bad dream of being stuck in an alien hive, as far as like, you know, being like cocooned in the wall, smelling everything, hearing everything, seeing the different routines that the Xenomorphs go through. And it was just so visceral and so real that I was like, you know what? That's an experience. That's not necessarily just a project, you know, that's an experience. I want to be able to show and replicate that. So as I was writing and jotting down ideas and drawing some of the Xenomorphs, you know, it was one of those things where I really wanted to think about not only some of the things that I go through, you know, as an artist or just as a human, but also draw on some of those things that I really love about the Aliens franchise, in particular with Aliens with the S, that you don't always see on the big screen. You know, you might hear about some of these things happening in a comic book, a video game or like a little novel or something, right? But I wanted to be able to show some of those different variations of xenomorphs and different scenarios, right? That could possibly go on in way in the future. And it was cool as I started to, get some momentum. I ran it past a couple people, and some of those people are the very same people that you see today in the film. So it's really cool, but it took a whole lot of planning. Me being a former project manager, well, not former project manager, but me doing project management on the corporate side really helped as far as like gathering some of those things.
Yeah, you know how.
And just like structure and dealing with schedules and everything else, I pretty much had to learn on YouTube. I would say since 2022, late 2021. I spent like every Saturday a couple hours just like watching different YouTube videos on cinematography, different gear, things of that nature, just trying to give myself a nice baseline education on it so I could keep building and building and building. But I don't we would need a whole other stream just to talk about like the inspiration and how I did it, and that's going to be a cool story in itself as far as like once I actually fully premiere the film, then it's all about like how I actually made it. And that's gonna be cool.
So you've been working on this for like 3 or 4 years then.
Oh yeah. It's
You
been a
are
while.
so good at keeping secrets.
It's been a
You've
while.
been hinting.
I've been I would say one of the biggest Easter eggs was that one C2E2 of 2022 when I judged at the Crown Championship of cosplay, and I had the chest burster coming out.
Yeah,
that was the biggest Easter egg. That was the Easter egg right there. Because the next year came the Queen, then the year after that, Central Alien. Then now this year had the Warriors and things of that nature. So that was one of the biggest peekaboos that you could think of.
you son of a bitch.
I tried to tell you without telling you, like it's coming. Like all it takes is one egg. So,
and it sounds like you have the green light by some of the people and studios behind the actual franchise.
So yes, well, not necessarily. I would say, give me 1 second, this dude. So I actually did get some clearance because I was able to help promote Alien Romulus when it came out in this past, I want to say August. And they know of the project. I'm not trying to interfere with anything, nor am I trying to capitalize off it as well. This is just me having fun, just making a short fan film, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So, if they do like it, great. But I'm not no affiliation with Disney or anything. This is just me in my backyard in the garage, just having fun.
Well, hopefully they at least, not that any of us are on the radar, but if anybody is, it's you, and I hope they can see the skill that you're bringing to the table. Because I know at one point you shared that would be like the ultimate dream, is being able to use your special effects expertise and put it towards more of a feature film.
Oh yes, that's still the goal. And if it's just one of those things. If I don't get the chance, I'll just do it myself, just like every other time.
Like everything else.
Either I'm gonna do it with you, or I'm gonna just do it myself. So this is step one of doing that, just showing what I could do. Just making my own film.
Now we do have a question from the chat about how you I guess it's more about what is making these aliens move. Do you have actors in the alien suits? Are they all puppets? How were they, my question on top of that is, when you designed them originally, were they designed to move, or did you just kind of build on some of the other displays that you had previously brought to C2E2?
Yeah, so I was initially thinking suits, but as I got further into writing some of the action sequences. Just wasn't safe to do some of the things, or
Okay.
just wasn't feasible to do some of the things that I wanted the Xenomorph to do, as well as maintaining that silhouette, because I wanted mine to be very, very slim in the waist. And as soon as you try to put a person in there, things blow up, and I wanted it to be big, right? But big with the correct silhouette and the correct proportions.
Right.
Desired for my style of Xenomorph. So everything that you'll see in this film is puppetized by me or one of my folks. With PVC pipes, hinges, invisible string, super old school.
I love that so much. It like takes me back to being like 7th grade, me and my friends like making a horror movie with zero knowledge, or it was bullshit. But just knowing that like that same spark that kids are having now with the right amount of know-how and gumption can get to it just like you did.
Oh yeah. All it takes is that one creature or that one idea.
Mm-hmm.
And just like seeing in hoops, you're seeing that first shot go in, and you just start building upon it, and next thing you know, you figure out how they actually shot some of these puppets and things of that nature to make it cohesive. And that was one of the things that I spent a lot of time researching, because I know I could build it, I know I could make it, right? But how you shoot practical and how you write for practical is a little bit different, because there's a lot of things that kind of like what you alluded to in the beginning that you could get away with in CGI, right? But
Yeah.
Considering the fact that I knew I had limited space, I knew I wanted my monsters to be big because some of my actors aren't small. So in relation to them, I couldn't have a tiny Xenomorph chasing somebody that's 6'4" or a 6 foot 200+ pound dude.
Right.
So yeah, it was
And I
a
love that
lot of factors.
It scales that. It shows just how big your monsters are by putting these big dudes up in front of them.
Yeah. And it's cool. It's cool to see. And also on the other end of it, I also just wanted to have fun so I could have the displays and exhibits and do the attractions that I do at C2E2 as well. So they serve multiple purposes.
Yeah, you've been previewing this movie without anybody knowing that it was a preview to a movie on the show floor.
And the cool part is it was way before Romulus too, because I remember people thought that I was part of the new Alien franchise from Disney. I'm like, no, it's just me. But way before Romulus hit the scene here in Chicago.
Was TrisRex.
We've been infested
for the Hive.
For the Hive. That's been the slogan for the past couple years.
And you said you shot this whole thing in your backyard.
Yep, my backyard and my garage.
So you have a spaceship
all on my
iPhone. No way. That was my next question. You shot it on your iPhone?
Yeah.
iPhone. That whole trailer was done on an iPhone?
Yeah. It was done on an iPhone, and I actually got a lot of different filters for the iPhone through this company called Small Rig. And Small Rig, they make a lot of the stuff that you'll see. I'm pretty sure if you've been on a movie set before and looked at some cameras, they make everything for those cameras. But the cool part is they have a lot of stuff that you could connect to your smartphones as well. So if you do that and you use the right app like Filmic Pro, you could pretty much turn your smartphone into like a movie quality camera. But
Filmic Pro, looking it up right now.
Yeah, Filmic Pro. That's my go-to.
Not sponsored. Or are you?
Not sponsored yet.
Yeah, exactly. After this,
Small Rig, holler at me.
And Apple holler at you.
Exactly.
Like they're making all these commercials about shot on an iPhone. Like this man did it. A whole movie. Oh my God. I
It
was like,
was
I'm sure it's some sort of like movie quality camera that I don't have access to, but he's got connections. An iPhone.
iPhone.
Shut
Yeah,
up.
and I could show after this. I'll take a picture of the actual rig, and
Yeah.
it's a tripod, and you can see how I kind of like MacGyvered all of it to stay together. And
you
they got these magnetic lenses, and it was cool. It was cool just to make and configure, to know how to do it. But also, it was also one of the things I will say. Despite what camera you are using, knowing what you're going for is even more important, because
What do you mean by that?
As far as what you want to shoot from a cinematography type of lens, as well as a DP type of perspective, right?
Mhm.
Because say for example, you could give the average Joe one of the IMAX cameras that they use for Sinners, or one of the IMAX cameras that Nolan uses for all of his films, right?
Mhm.
And depending on what you want, it might look like $1 million piece of crap, right? But if you get somebody
So
that know
true.
exactly how to shoot for that specific project, knows exactly what they want, and know how to make these pictures come to life, you
Mhm.
can pretty much give them anything and they'll be able to achieve that. So when I say know what you want, is don't think about, well, I even said this at C2E2, don't think about just the technology at first. Think about the actual look and what you want to portray. Then, do that. Will I get like a legit camera in the future? Yeah. But as of right now, the iPhone is working.
That's what I love about you is you work with literal garbage, like trash bags and whatever you can find in rummage, and you make art out of it. And so if all you have within reach is an iPhone, you're going to make movie quality, like literal movie quality out of what you got. And I just think that's such an inspiration to so many people, because so many people, like guests in the past, or maybe in the chat or listening back, we put these gates in front of us and think, I can't do that because, or I'll be able to do that when
Right.
time after time, you've said it, so many other past guests said it, just start with what you got and build up from there, if you even need to, because you'll be amazed at what you can create if you just start.
Yeah. And let's be honest. When will it ever be like the right time? You save all this money to get the camera. Next thing you know, you spent all this money on equipment, but you didn't do all of the other work. So now you're trying to do that, then that prolongs the process, and now you're going and going and going. But also, I will say this, similar to how things were shot in the 80s and early 90s, I would say having less sometimes propels you to create more, because it makes you look at things a little bit differently.
Yes. There's a quote, I'm blanking on the quote, but basically it says just that. It's like, creativity truly comes out when you face an obstacle.
Exactly. And one of the things that I was thinking of, it's kind of hard to imagine now, because the movie is pretty much like done as far as shot. But I was like, how would I approach this if I did it with CGI? And it was just one of those things where just the tone and everything else would just be nothing against it, right? I love CGI when it's done correctly and married all of the other stuff. But for this specific project, I was like, no, I don't think I could have pulled some of those scenes off, or it wouldn't be as visceral without a practical puppet.
Yeah, there's something about practical. And even in these multi-million-dollar studios, I see a CGI scene and I'm like, ooh, we skimped on that. Like, it just takes you out of it. When you have a real life monster facing you in front of you, I think that just gives you a lot more flexibility and like just a higher rate of success, especially when they are made in the way that you're making them.
Yeah, and you get a better performance from the actors. And
Yes.
you know, looking at the behind the scenes, it's like some of these big films that do use practical, that the actors love it. And it's like the actors love it. You get a better performance, but you know, a lot
You're
of the
not talking to a
times,
green ball.
exactly, a tennis ball.
What?
You know, you're running from a tennis ball and everything. You know, it's kind of hard to stay in it for a whole 13-hour shoot, right? Of you
Right.
crawling and doing all of this other stuff, running.
I
from
always
a green
imagine
ball.
those actors like thinking back to their theater degrees are like, really, is this what I spent all those years for, running away from that tennis ball?
You know, if you want to get paid.
I mean, we do.
Yeah. But
But when you face a
that's what it
20-foot
is.
beast in front of you that's literally oozing out of its mouth and shaking, and what other kinds of things did you do for the actors before you introduce the cast, which I'm really curious about as well, because I think we have some people that know some of those actors in the chat. What other kinds of things did you do, knowing who you are, to help get them in the correct mindset?
Yeah, so during the testing, we had a lot of huddles, and I wanted to treat it from a realistic standpoint, but also something giving them enough reality to put them into the place that they needed to be mentally. For example, one of the lead, Quick Cosplay, she's so good in this. Just getting her mind into the type of scenarios that she would be facing. So it was a lot of psychological stuff. Sent a lot of videos, a lot of articles, things of that nature, certain pictures to actually get them to be able to replicate the tone. But I did a lot of background stuff, but I also gave them enough flexibility where they could put their self into the character. So it gets to, a point where by that third or fourth shoot, they're not acting anymore. They're just reacting. So I was like, after the test shoot, and then after the first one, second, third, everybody did so much homework and did so much preparation that it's just like, I'm not even talking to the person I cast. Like, as soon as they suit up, it's just like it's a totally different
Change.
Yeah. And the tone too. The tone is definitely there as far as like the tone on the set. A lot of the times it was cold, it was rainy, it was muddy, it was hot. It wasn't hard to give a realistic performance.
Yeah.
I tell you that. And one of the things that I did for this one scene, I didn't show the cast of Xenomorph until it was time to shoot it. And they came from lunch. They came out of my house from lunch, and then all of a sudden they came back to set, and he was just sitting there. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, it's time. It's live.
I love that because they couldn't get comfortable with it. They couldn't like realize, okay, that's just a puppet, and like fall into that mindset. All of a sudden, there's a monster in front of them with a camera in their face.
Yeah, and the funny part is, they all know me. Like these are some of my close friends in the cosplay world. Like some of these people I've been knowing like 15, 16 years, right? But it's different seeing a Xenomorph on a convention floor compared to seeing it on set in a dilapidated mine with smoke everywhere, caution rope, and these big boxes, and like being on the movie set. So it's different. Although they create things themselves, just creating that atmosphere, it really sets the tone to get those performances that's needed.
Okay, so you mentioned the cast. This movie wouldn't be what it is without them. Go ahead and give us a rundown of who's playing the parts, where you found these people. And I love that it's like a group of cosplayers, voice actors. Like your people. You just brought
everybody from Chicago too.
Ooh, Chicago grown. I love that.
Everybody from Chicago. It's a Chicago aliens movie. So first up, we got Quick Cosplay. You probably have seen her killing it as Storm. She also plays she also cosplays a couple other characters from a from the VR gaming world too. She's huge on that. And she plays the role of Silva. She is the main character. She's very reminiscent of Vasquez, who is my favorite Kalen, one of my favorite characters of all time, right? But she also reminds me a lot of my mother as well. And the cool part is quick, and my mother does have a really cool relationship. So it was really cool and really special to write her character and what she goes through, knowing how similar she is to my mom, and the coming straight off the paper as far as how I wanted her to be.
So you kind of wrote the script for these specific actors in mind.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah,
Okay.
as soon as I if I had to take something out or take a character out, I would rewrite it differently once it was recasted. Second, that lovely voice and that cool therapist that you see in the trailer is Risa Montanez, aka Risa Voices. She is so dope, and she's one of the teammates that came in a little bit later, so she's not in the cast photos because of that, because we actually met at C2E2. See those conventions, monsters bringing people together.
Yeah.
But she plays the role of Knight, and she's one of the Marines, and she works in the ARC, the Armored Recon unit. Excuse me, ARC's Armored Recon Carrier. Sorry about that. My brain is a little bit dead. It's been a long day.
It's been a long couple years. Don't apologize. It's been good.
Yeah, because you're so used to saying APC as an Aliens fan, but we got an ARC. It's a little bit of a smaller carrying unit. So she plays that role, and she does a lot of cool things that I can't spoil tonight. But if you are coming this Saturday, you will see. Third, we got Mike. Mike was the one that had the pulse rifle, and he had the laser shining towards the camera. We went to not high school. We went to college together, and he was in the theater program at UIC.
Oh, cool.
And he was always just a pleasant dude to work with. And we reconnected after some years, and at C2E2 saw this Johnny Cage from afar. And the cool part is he does a lot of motion cap work for the Mortal Kombat games, as well as COD and some of the other AAA games as well. So a lot of the times, if you're actually playing Mortal Kombat, I think he does. I know he does Johnny Cage, Garrus, Baraka in Mortal Kombat 1.
No way.
The list goes on, and it's funny because now that we've shot so many times, and when I am playing the video games, it's like I know who that is.
Yeah,
I've seen you do that before. So then so that's Mike, and he's playing Cage. So a little bit of a Mortal Kombat nod. And we also have another UIC theater person. Her name is Colin, which is like my little sister, and she is so good. And I was glad to reconnect with her at
C2E2.
Yeah, her brother
from home. Y'all need to get to C2E2 if you have not.
Yeah, it's some magic happening in that hive. But her brother was dragging her along, like, "Hey man, you gotta meet this dude. He got these big aliens and all this stuff." And then she was like, "Oh, that's Tristan." And it was cool. It was cool. But she brings a comedic element, but also this realistic type of worker when it comes to how we are treated in these corporate settings. And she really brings that to life, because that's one of the things that I also want to deal with as well. But it's one of those things that is hinted at in every alien story that you could think of. How the corporate world treats people kind of bad. and just has their own interests, and you're expendable. You know.
Major corporations thinking of us only as worker bees and
Yep.
throwing us away when we no longer have use.
Exactly.
What?
You just a number. And she really brings that to life. And that's something that I wrote her lines with myself as well as her in mind, because we have a lot of things in common when it comes to that. Also, one of the other people that you see that's flailing around on the floor is my friend Black Zero Cosplay, Sam Greiger. And what's special about him being in it is I think he might be my very first friend from the cosplay community. Like,
was he?
we met, yeah, that's like my very first cosplay friend, like somebody that I actually like texted and like talked to on Instagram and like was giving me tips and cheering me on and giving me techniques when I first started, and it was back in like 2018.
Yeah.
And that he really brings a different level of edge to balance out Colin's cynical, somewhat jokey and apathetic attitude towards the work. He's a little bit more serious. He's a little bit more paranoid. He kind of plays the juxtaposition to all of the other things that we do feel. You got some people that's just there for a check. I just want to get paid. I could care less.
Right.
Then you got people that kind of read a little bit more into things, and I think the two dichotomies between their characters is really dope. And the last person that we do have in that trailer is James Wolfgar, Wolfgar Weapons and Props. And he's a Indiana-based cosplayer, always supportive, is one of the other like day ones as far as like somebody that's been like supporting and a good friend for the start of my career as a maker. So he plays a really cool, almost Gorman like character, if y'all familiar with Aliens, as far as like the person that was given the commands from the actual truck in this case, but has a nice little swagger to him. You can kind of tell that he's been there before, not necessarily worried about stuff, kind of overconfident, but you get to see the different changes in the tones real quick. And last but not least, my friend, who's probably like the most furthest away from anything from it, as far as like the creative side and stuff, but he does a great job in the movie, and that's my friend Che. And he plays one of the Marines that you see in the hive. And I think it's like that third or fourth frame, and he's looking with the pulse rifle.
Yeah.
And the cool part about him being in it is he actually has Air Force experience. He's a veteran. So nice. It was cool to have a lot of his expertise on hand, because I wanted to show the Marines in a different light. I wanted to show that they all have their specificities and things that they train in, right? Or have mastery over, but I wanted to show how they act when they come together. And he really plays a different part of kind of like me. He's kind of nonchalant about everything. Okay, yeah, some things happen. That's okay. Let's get back to base. He's kind of one of those.
Just massive aliens eating people.
Yeah, and it's like at my day job, it's just like I kind of wrote that with that in mind. Like, yeah, that's great, but I want to go home. So he kind of has this tone of apathy, but when things really hit the fan, he really comes through. He's a little bit, selfish in certain ways, because he only wants to do what he wants to do, but at the end of the day, he comes through for the team.
I love that that's like your group of friends. Just like I mentioned, that middle school group that, hey, let's make a movie. You really did it with like friends and people that have supported you, and you supported them, and you did it. You put this shit together, Tris.
Yeah, it's labor of love.
Took years.
Years. I started actually. I found since we were talking, I saw something on my desk. I'm not sure if y'all could see this,
Make it bigger.
but these were the very first sketches from 2021.
No way.
Yeah, when I was on the back porch
And he can draw. Fuck you.
and I was sketching, and you can see this is kind of like what the queen turned into. This is
Yeah.
the queen, empress, the royal guard, which is pretty much he pretty much looks exactly like that. And then you
Exactly.
got the sentry, the one that's a quadrupedal
Uh-huh.
crawler, and that's like a silhouette of the royal guard. And then you got the ovomorph over here, and you got the little face hugger down there.
Mhm.
And yeah, I was just sketching, just trying to I just wanted to show things in a different light, because in 86, Aliens in 86 really expanded the universe to have endless possibilities, right?
Mhm.
With Alien from 79, it was just the one xenomorph, the one creature, and then Aliens, all of a sudden, you got a hive. And that sparked so many things as far as like the video games, novels, comic
Yeah.
books, because now all of these possibilities and variations of xenomorphs started to come to be. And that's one of the things that I would definitely want to highlight, and just kind of like show how they would look on the big screen. So don't necessarily do the drone warrior, like I got warriors in it, right? But my warriors are a little bit different. But
Yeah.
I want to do something a little bit different than the standard drone or warrior that you see in every film. And it's like nothing against that, right? But as an Aliens fan first, right? As a fan, I'm always a fan first.
Yeah.
We want more.
Yeah, you got to put your own Tris spin on it too.
Yeah, we want more, and I gotta Rex it up, make them a little bit bigger, exaggerate certain details, all within reason, though. All within reason.
Yeah, out of respect for the source material.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it with some taste, do it with some respect, but do it
Speaking
your
of-
way.
Speaking of the source material, someone in the chat who I think had been to a few of the shoots says also shout out to Tris's mom. She's been such a staunch supporter.
Oh yes, Mama Rex. That's the mom. That's the other Mama Rex. Yeah, it's two Mama Rexes. The Chelsea, my wife, and then the mom, the OG, the big queen. Yeah, she's one of the anchors that's been holding me down. But kudos to her too for spending all of that Toys R Us money.
Yeah, right.
Buying me those toys that really help shape how I view the Xenomorph and really help build that love, because without her getting me all of those figures and things of that nature, I'm not necessarily sure I would be here. So I love her.
Mama Rex.
I love there you go. What's up, Mama? So I give her all the love because she supports everything. She supports, and she's always pushing me to go harder, farther. No limit. Get
That's
it done.
amazing. Every time you're at C2, I've seen her there. I think I gave her a hug there. She's like, yeah, it's my son. She's been to every one of these streams. For some reason, she's lowered herself to come see the show. So
she know y'all,
because I don't think you would be the man and the creator and the inspiration that you are without her support and all the people that surround themselves with you.
Oh yeah, I got a village. Yeah, I might create alone, but I'm not alone.
Yeah,
I'm not alone.
For the hive, baby.
It's a hive. It's for the hive. Yeah, I got a lot of people pushing me and in my corner, so I'm very, very fortunate to have that.
Well, I know you're a busy man, and I want to respect your time. And this was going to be a slightly shorter Geek Out session than normal. So before I let you go, where can we find your movie this weekend?
Yeah, so my movie will be screening at Facets Theater. That's here in Chicago in the Wicker Park area. I do have the actual address in the link that we're going to share in the chat. But yeah, everything is going to it's going to be an all day event. Everything's going to be free. It goes from 11 to 10. Yeah, I just want everybody to have fun and pull up because I wanted to be able to do something like this at a convention. But considering the fact that, you know, the movie's almost done, you know, I just want to make sure we have some fun with it. And since I couldn't do it for this past C2E2, figured I'd just do it here for the hometown. And the screening is it's like a watch party. It's like a watch party and just a celebration. You know, it's not a full premiere just yet. There's a couple other things that I do want to add to the film. But this is gonna be cool because this is gonna be the first time that people outside of this house, outside of me and Chelsea, has actually seen this. And every time, you know, it's one of those things it's surreal because I catch myself watching it when I'm supposed to be editing. Yeah, because I'm just so stuck into it.
I think that's a sign of good work. On occasion, I'll be doing some video editing for my work, and it's nowhere to your level. But like when it sucks you in as the editor, as the creator, then I think that's a sign that if it can suck you in the most critical eye that's going to see it, then everyone else is going to love it. And I can't wait for this egg to get hatched, or at least start to get hatched this weekend. Is it Facets Theater? Am I saying that right?
Facets. Yep, okay. You got it.
Facets Theater. And you guys can find all the information. I've been dropping his Instagram link in the chat all night. If you're listening back or watching back, I'll have this up before Saturday, so you didn't miss it. And I'll have the links and information there as well. And then when it is ready to finally premiere, please let us know. Tell us where and when, because I want to be there. And I want to be there for the sequel. If you need extra, somebody just needs to get eaten.
I got you.
Okay.
I got you. For the actual premiere, I am going to do it on YouTube for a couple nights just to make sure everybody can see it. But one of the things that I will say, I did make this for the actual theater. I made this for a theatrical experience. There's been a couple movies that came out in the previous year that really kind of like forced people to go to the theater and really experience things in a different way. And like I could show you on the YouTube or you know, the smaller platforms, but I want you to be able to hear the rumbling, the shaking, all of the, you know, the gunfire and things of that nature. And Facets has a really cool venue, so they checked everything, and we demoed the trailer there, and it was like, holy shit. I was like, yeah, let's do it. You
can even sense it in the trailer, and I just dropped the link again if anybody was late to the chat. Go check it out. We're about to wrap up, so you know what you're going to go watch right after this, because my camera says we're done. It was going good for a while. I was like, okay, buddy, we're on the same team.
It was good. It's all good. It's all good. Everybody know how you look.
Videographer like you to come out and take a look at my stuff, because if I just need an iPhone apparently to shoot a whole movie on, I don't know what I'm messing with this webcam for.
Hey, the Apple, they got a good camera, man.
They do. I might have to switch up the setup.
They got a good camera on there.
But Tris, thanks again so much. It's an honor whenever you come here on the stream. Like I said, you've been on this is at least the third time on the show. So the fact that you haven't gone running away means a lot. And I am always in awe of what you do, especially because of where it comes from. You always do it with the best of heart. And as you mentioned earlier, like we put a lot of things in our way and reasons like why we shouldn't start. But one thing I didn't say is you always attack it with let's have some fun. Yeah. And that is the fire in your engine, is like you just doing this because you find it enjoyable. So I hope that resonates with somebody out there and can see what you do just from where you do it from. And maybe we'll have our next, maybe it's a cinematographer, maybe it's a builder, maybe it's a crafter, maybe it's an author, maybe it's a game developer. It just starts now. do it, because
Yeah.
this man and this man are cheering you on. I can't get the. There you go.
There we go. Yeah, mirroring. But yeah, thank you for saying that. And at the end of the day, you know, and I think I said this on one of our other streams, you know, creating from that selfish lens of just like something that you gotta love for yourself first, and then you know you take care of everything. But having fun and, you know, doing it because you want to do it, that's one of the things that I always try to drive home. So yeah, I'm glad that you reiterated that one.
Awesome. Well, Tris, you have a beautiful night and an even more beautiful premiere of your short this weekend, Saturday, May the 24th at the Facets Theater in Illinois. Oh, good. Finish it off strong. I wish I could be there. I'll be out of state for that, but you know I would be there if I could.
Check your inbox. I got you.
Okay.
I got you.
But until next time, you guys, stick around for the raid. I am Bozer. Who's this?
Oh, yeah. I'm TrisRex.
And you just keep
geeking out.
Bye-bye.
Peace, y'all. Stay frosty.